Hello and welcome to this Sophos certified training course for XG Firewall. This is Module 10, Logging, Reporting, and Troubleshooting. The XG Firewall Control Center can provide visibility into current activity, but you can also find more detailed information using the built-in reporting and logging. In addition to looking at these, this module will introduce the diagnostic and troubleshooting tools available on the XG Firewall that you can use to resolve issues quickly. The Sophos XG Firewall has on-box reporting built in, which provides administrators with a comprehensive view of what is happening on their network. The on-box reporting feature comes pre-configured with dashboards and reports that administrators can refine and drill down into in order to get the exact information that they are looking for, including reports specially configured to help with compliance management. These reports can also be exported or scheduled from the XG Firewall so that they can be viewed without having to access the device. Let's take a look at a number of reports that are pre-configured for use on the XG Firewall. The Application Risk Meter in Sophos XG Firewall provides a risk assessment based on an analysis of traffic flowing through the network. The risk meter is displayed at the top of the Applications and Web Report tab when the User App Risks and Usage report is selected as an easy way to view an organization's level of security and risk. Using the score provided by the risk meter, an organization can identify whether they need to tighten their security or investigate the actions of their users. The risk meter in on-box reporting ranges from 1 to 5. On this scale, 5 is the highest risk and 1 is the lowest risk. In other words, the lower the number, the better the security. To help administrators identify risks and threats, Sophos XG Firewall calculates a metric called User Threat Quotient, or UTQ. The UTQ is based on a user's web usage data and is intended to help administrators quickly identify users that are risky or malicious, or who perform naive actions such as responding to spear phishing attempts. By correlating the necessary data and calculating this metric, Sophos XG Firewall can minimize the effort required to identify users that need to be educated on how to work securely, and provides clear visibility into the risks posed by an organization's users. The Applications and Web section of the reports covers information related to applications, web, internet, and FTP traffic within your network. An example of a report in this category is the Blocked Web Attempts report. This report gives a detailed look at the web traffic that the Sophos XG Firewall has blocked and presents it by user, domain, category, and web virus. There is a separate report which provides the same type of information for blocked applications as well. Network and Threats section provides an in-depth insight into network usage and threats associated with your network. It includes reports such as the Intrusion Attacks report, which can give an administrator insight into the types of attacks that are being attempted against the firewall. The reports provide complete statistics about the attacks and attackers with concise reports on victims and applications through which the attack was launched. These reports can facilitate an administrator in determining the severity of the attack and thus provides the basis for fine-tuning the intrusion prevention policies. The Advanced Threat Protection and Security Heartbeat reports also give administrators a view of what types of threats have been discovered by the XG firewall, while the Wireless report gives information on what type of traffic is passing through the various access points managed by the XG firewall. This section also includes reports for Sophos Sandstorm, broken down into policy and content, categories, and users for both email and web. Sophos XG Firewall proactively monitors and reports on file uploads, which can possibly lead to data breaches and leakage. For an organization, it is essential not only to maintain the availability of the files of its employees, but also integrity. For example, a hardware manufacturing company will have to make available the component list with employees, but at the same time, it is mandatory that the design, principles, copyrights, and trademarks are not leaked. By monitoring and reporting on the files leaving the organization, this can provide peace of mind to the business owners. Regulatory compliance has become a priority for many organizations, normally requiring overwhelming effort, time, and cost in the form of retrieval and storage of logs and reports from multiple devices. Correlating the vast amount of logs and reports to complete the compliance picture is a complicated and time-consuming task. The on-box reporting is compliance-ready, making it easy for an organization to view and manage compliance-based reports. It provides reports based on criteria for compliance standards such as HIPAA, GLBA, SOX, PCI, and FISMA, and several more. In the on-box reporting, you can create a bookmark for any report so you have quick and easy access to it the next time you need it. This makes it a valuable tool for common and important reports that need to be run. To create a bookmark, use the link at the top right of the page. When you add the bookmark, you can select a bookmark group. These are used to organize and access bookmarks from the Reports menu. Once the first bookmark has been created, a new tab will appear within the Reports section called Bookmarks. By clicking the Bookmarks tab, an administrator will see all of their bookmarked reports in one location. In addition to being able to run reports on demand, the on-box reporting can be scheduled to run reports, either daily or weekly, and send them via email. This allows an administrator to easily have the reports show up in their email box each day or week, and also have them sent to any other coworker or manager. To schedule a report, next to the bookmark link in most reports, there will be a Schedule link. These reports can be based on either pre-configured reports by selecting Report Group, or on a bookmark that the administrator has created by viewing the specific report and clicking the Schedule link. The Schedule options allow for each schedule that is created to have its own list of emails that will receive the report. Sophos XG Firewall will store a lot of log data over time, so it is important to configure the log retention period to allow old log data to be purged. If the device is running low on disk space, it is also possible to perform a manual purge from specific report modules or all report modules for a specific date period. This is done in Reports, Settings, Manual Purge. Custom reports can be created for web surfing or web viruses. By selecting options for the report type, you can create targeted reports that can help further identify users or groups that may be posing a risk to the organization. For example, a risky user may be identified via the user threat quotient. To obtain more information, a custom report can be created that searches for the user's risky behavior. Each sandstorm incident is logged in Protect Advanced Threat Sandstorm Activity. Here, you can check the status of files that are being checked by Sandstorm, manually release a file, or view the detailed incident report. Here is an example of an incident report. The report includes a summary, details of the request that triggered Sandstorm, details about the file, and the results of the analysis. Sophos XG Firewall provides access to real-time logs in the web console so that administrators can easily monitor the impact of changes they make and troubleshoot issues reported to them. Available on the top right of every page under the Log Viewer link, this will open a new window with the live log view for the XG Firewall. In the standard default view, the log viewer will display a single log. You can use the drop-down menu to select which log is displayed. The log viewer also supports text searching that will both filter the log entries and highlight the matching terms. And you can also apply quick time-based filters to the logs. By hovering your mouse over the log entry, you can also see more detailed information. You can switch to the detailed unified log view using the buttons at the top. This view has the same searching and filtering options as the standard view, but can aggregate the logs from multiple modules. By default, when you switch to this view, all of the logs will be shown. You can use the drop-down menu to select which modules you want to view the logs for. In addition to the local real-time logs, the firewall can be configured to log to up to 5 external syslog servers, usually on UDP port 514, although this can be customized. In the syslog server configuration, you can select which facility you want to log for. Daemon, which includes information from services running on the firewall, kernel for the kernel log, local 0 through local 7 for information from a specific log level, and user for logging based on users who are connected to the server. You can also select the severity of the events you want to log. The firewall will log all events for the selected level and above, so if you select critical, it will also log alert and emergency events. What is logged can be refined by enabling or disabling the specific event types within each module or the entire module itself. The events selected in the local column are for the real-time logs. These are stored on the XG firewall and also seen in the live log viewer. On the right, the syslog servers that have been added will have their own columns, which can be configured independently of the live log and each other. It's important to note that firewall traffic is only logged when it either does not match a firewall and is therefore subsequently dropped, or when log firewall traffic is enabled for that security policy. This needs to be enabled for each security policy you want logging for by turning on log firewall traffic in the log traffic section of the rule. There may be a time when files need to be copied to or from the XG firewall. For example, you may want to copy some log files off of the device in order to retain them for an extended period of time. To get and put files into the system, use the commands below in Advanced Shell. The XG firewall includes a policy test simulator that enables instant and effortless simulation of firewall rules and web filtering policy based on user, protocol, source, destination, and time of day. The policy test is accessed as a separate tab in the log viewer. This tool provides a quick and easy way to verify a policy or rule is working as expected and can be a valuable troubleshooting tool in the event users or traffic are being unexpectedly blocked. The results of the policy or rule simulation test will indicate whether the traffic is allowed or blocked and identify the rule or web policy that's governing the traffic. In the example shown here, we can see that if Fred Roger tries to access Facebook, he will receive a warning, and that this is being enforced by the default workplace policy that is applied to the default network policy firewall rule. You can also choose to test a specific web policy. Here, we are testing a scenario where Fred Rogers is trying to access Facebook, but this time we have specified the web policy called default policy. We can see that with this web policy, Fred would not be able to access Facebook. As with the previous example, the rule in the web policy that is being matched is highlighted, making it easy to modify the policy if necessary. The XG firewall has a number of useful diagnostic tools built into the web admin interface of the device. Ping, used to test the reachability of a host on an IP network and measure the time for messages to be responded to. Traceroute, used to determine if a packet or communication stream is being stopped at a device or lost on the internet. Name lookup, used to query DNS for information about host names and IP addresses. Route lookup, used to determine which port and gateway traffic to an IP address will be routed through. Consolidated Troubleshooting Report, or CTR, generated to assist the Sophos support team in diagnosing system issues. The file contains the current status file and log files and lists processes currently running, resource usage, and other useful information. This is generated in an encrypted file and can be sent to Sophos support for investigation. Other than the CTR, these tools allow for basic network troubleshooting and testing to be performed from the XG firewall. The live users and live connections, which are found under Monitor and Analyze Current Activities, has the ability to show an administrator all of the users currently active on the system, including normal users, clientless users, and single sign-on users. The administrator has the ability to disconnect users that may be posing a risk to the network. From the Live Connections tab, a list of all currently active IPv4 connections can be seen. The page displays the IPv4 Live Connections report and offers a way to get quick real-time statistics of the network traffic. You can use this report to check the network load of different protocols, computer systems, connections, or a combination of these. Drill down quickly to get an in-depth view of your network. The connection list provides a current or live connection snapshot of your device in list form. Apart from the connection details, the list also provides information such as firewall rule ID, user ID, and connection ID for each item in the list. It is possible to filter the connection list by clicking the Display Filter button in the top right and selecting your options to limit the view. Click the Connection ID hyperlink to view a live snapshot of a specific connection in a new window. The administrator can set the refresh interval to automatically refresh the list at the configured time interval or manually refresh the list by clicking the Refresh button. The URL category lookup is very useful if an administrator wants to know if a specific site is recognized by the XG firewall. To search whether the URL is categorized or not, simply type in the URL and click Search. The firewall will search the specified URL and displays the category name under which the URL is categorized, along with the category description. If the domain or URL is categorized under both a custom category and a default category, then the name of the custom category will be displayed in the search result. You can use the Support Access page to allow Sophos support staff to temporarily access your device. Support Access enables Sophos support staff to connect to the admin console of your device without you having to share the admin credentials or create them a separate account. When the feature is enabled, an Access ID is generated that can be given to support so that they can access your device. The admin only needs to convey this ID to the support staff and nothing else. When support access is enabled, support can access your device over HTTPS on TCP port 22 from the WAN. All connections between the device and support are initiated by your device. You can also limit the amount of time that the support access will be available or disable it manually at any time. The onboard packet capture page displays packets details for a specified interface. It will provide connection details and details of the packets processed by each module, along with information like firewall rule number, user, web, and application filter policy number. The capture can be filtered using a BPF or Berkeley Packet Filter string, and the display can be filtered using various fields including the interface and packet type. While a packet capture may not be as easy to interpret as the log files or the onboard reporting, it can be an invaluable tool to troubleshoot more difficult problems. The packet capture tool can be run from Monitor and Analyze, Diagnostics, Packet Capture. The routing table on the XG firewall can be viewed from the console using the following command: System Diagnostics Utilities Route runconfig-show. This includes local, dynamic, static, and VPN routes. This can be very useful when troubleshooting data paths or packets that are not reaching their destinations. SF Loader is the customized pre-boot environment which allows an admin to choose which firmware needs to boot at startup and includes additional troubleshooting tools for the XG firewall. The Troubleshoot menu found under Option 2 includes some of the following useful tools: Reset Console Password, Memory Test, Hard Drive Test, and Ethernet Card Test. Complete the following tasks in Lab 10. Task 10.1, Run, Customize, and Schedule Reports. Task 10.2, View Sandstorm Activity. Task 10.3, Use SF Loader Tools. Task 10.4, Connection Table. Task 10.5, Packet Capture. And Task 10.6, Dropped Packet Capture. Prior to completing these tasks, you must have completed all steps up to the end of Lab 9, Task 9.1. Now that you have completed this module, you should complete Module 11, Sizing and Evaluation.